Girlfriend broke up with me, slept with someone else, and now she wants me back. Here's the context. My girlfriend and I had been together for 2.5 years. Lately, we'd been having quite a few issues, and about 3 weeks ago, she decided to end it with me and asked me to move out. She moved all of my stuff into the spare bedroom while I was gone at work, and that's where I started sleeping until I could find a new place to live. About a week later, she came home from work, came into my room, and told me she wanted to talk. We talked for a bit, and she told me that she regretted breaking up with me, and she wanted to get back together and give it another try. For the next 2 weeks, I tried really hard to improve on some of the things she said she needed from me, and our relationship felt like it was better and stronger than it had been in months. Then one night, I asked her if she had slept with anyone else while we were apart, and she went silent. She then told me she slept with some guy she knew from before we met. I felt very betrayed and hurt, and honestly pretty disgusted, because we had been having sex since we got back together, and she never mentioned a thing about this other guy. I know that she was technically single at the time, but it still bothers me a lot because I still loved her the whole time and never wanted things to end in the first place. I believe I would be more understanding if I had broken up with her and she had acted out in this way, but because she made the decision to leave me, it just seems to hurt a lot more, knowing that while I was brokenhearted, she was busy fucking some other guy. Even though she says she didn't enjoy it and that it meant nothing, and that she stopped it before either of them finished, I still feel hurt and disgusted and betrayed. It may sound possessive, but I feel like she gave away an intimate part of herself that belonged only to me, and we can never get that back. I can't help but still love her, yet I also don't think I can forgive her. I know it's irrational, but I don't think I could touch her again without some small part of me always thinking about this other guy that was inside of her. I'm not sure if I'm even looking for advice or if I'm just looking to vent. I guess I just want to know what other people's opinions are on this situation. Please, no friends references. How do I, female 55, convince my daughter, female 25, to break up with someone, male 30, who's not good for her? Hi everyone, looking for some advice on how to get my daughter to break up with her boyfriend and come to her senses. I feel like her staying in this relationship is coming from a low sense of worth, and I truly want the best for her. My daughter is a very headstrong person. She's beautiful, intelligent, but extremely stubborn, and always had a rebellious nature. Recently, she started dating a guy who is not good for her. They're culturally different. We are Asian and he is Mexican. Come from two different socioeconomic statuses. We are upper middle class from NYC, and he grew up lower middle class from Texas. They live in two different states, and she is taller than him. She is 5'7", and he is 5'3.5". Basically, they are not a good match, and I don't see them lasting. They've recently become almost official, and I asked her why she is giving him a chance when she admitted she didn't find him physically attractive and has men left and right always pursuing her. Men that are taller, more handsome, went to better colleges, same background, etc. She said they started off as friends and that he pursued her persistently. She said he's kind, patient, loving, loyal, gentle, and treats her like a queen and much better than her most recent ex did. She also said she cannot be with an ultra-masculine guy and that he brings out a very sweet and affectionate side to her. While I understand that this is sweet, I told her that she can find someone of the same race, culture, and taller that can also love her just the same as this man does. I feel like she is settling for less, and the only reason she likes this man is because he is generous to her and worships her. Not only that, her ex didn't love her the way she deserved, and so she thinks someone doing the bare minimum is true love. I've been trying to butt out because she will probably stay with him if we are against her relationship, and my husband and I don't know what to do with her. Any advice? Edit. I have nothing against shorter men, people of different races, etc. I believe everyone is created equal, but there is a need for compatibility sometimes, and I worry for her because they are too different that they can't have a happy future together. As a mother, we want the best for our children and to shoot for the stars. Who wouldn't want their daughter to be with a tall, rich, handsome man, especially since she is tall, beautiful, and comes from that background? That's what she deserves. Even a man that treats her well, too. That's the most important thing. I cheated and don't know what to do. I've been in a long-term relationship for 5 years. For the last year, I've had many doubts about us, despite her being great. But after such a long time, I often don't know if I feel love or just affection. I started to feel attracted to other people and avoided it. I am still young, so these thoughts were on my mind often, and I felt scared to be with one person forever. A big part of our relationship has been long distance. Last weekend, I met a friend of a friend. She was really nice looking, and there was noticeable chemistry. After a long night of partying and nothing happening, we headed back to our friend's place to continue the party. But sometime later, everyone had gone to bed, and it was just us. She kissed me, and I didn't stop it, and things escalated. I know I fucked up. I know you must think I'm a bad person, and honestly, rightly so. But please just keep the insults to yourself. I just need someone to talk to and some advice. I have never ever been unfaithful until now. I just don't know what to do. I am going to finish the relationship because it's not fair that she is with someone who has done this and who has doubts about the relationship. What I don't know is if I should tell her if I'm going to finish the relationship anyway. Will it benefit her to know about this? She will just be more sad and compare herself and make her feel like she's not good enough, when in reality, she is. It's just me who has caused this. I have doubts about this because, at the end of the day, this happened because I was already in a sea of doubts. Before, I never even considered it. And I don't know if it would be better to tell her the reasons behind this, instead of the actual result of this, and just cause her more pain. If I was going to continue the relationship, I would tell her. But if I'm going to end it, I don't see why I should tell her about it and cause further pain. Am I the asshole for making my GF pay me back? So, my girlfriend had lost her job and I was supporting her. We lived together, but then after a couple months, it felt she wasn't even trying to get a job. My girlfriend holds an MS in chemistry. She wanted to go back into the pharma industry, but nowhere was biting. I told her just to work at our local Walmart until she found something better or anything really good, and she refused. During this time, the bills piled up and I paid them all. I told her she needed to pay me back. She eventually got a job she liked. I compiled a list of everything she owed me, and she said she wanted to do a payment plan. Based on her payment plan, she'd be paying me back for a year. I told her to give me a lump sum, which would be 75% of all her first 5 paychecks. I didn't want to lose track of the payments. This started a huge fight because the house we live in is mine, and some of bills included were water sewage, which she had been paying half of since she moved in. She argued about me making her pay half of my mortgage when I see she's down, and she will pay me back, she just can't give me that much money at once. I explained to her that I took a hit for us for months, she can take a couple hits too. Her argument was I didn't take any hits. I can pay all the bills without her help and have money left over. This fight lasted a few days. She sent me everything I said she owed me about a week later, and that made me mad because I'm thinking she had the money the entire time and I was paying all the bills. She didn't talk to me for a couple days after. Finally, I asked her where she got the money from, and she said she sold all her jewelry and her dad allowed her to sell his old car. I felt horrible. I know I handled the situation wrong, but was I wrong for asking her to pay me back in the first place? My family said I shouldn't have asked her to pay me back. My friends say I wasn't wrong for asking. She's still here, but I have a strong feeling she's getting ready to break up with me. She's now working her new job from 7 a.m. 3 p.m., then she goes to a hospital job 5 p.m. 11 p.m. MF. Then on weekends, she's either at the hospital doing extra shifts or at a restaurant working as a waitress. I hardly see her. A week ago, she stopped sharing the bed with me. Said it's because she's coming from the hospital and doesn't feel like showering and wants to shower in the morning. So she lays down a sleeping bag and sleeps on the floor in a closet. I was genuinely concerned and told her she didn't have to work that much, and smiled and said, "Why, so you could be a loan shark again?" And that's when it occurred to me that mentally checked out. I don't want her gone, I want to fix this. But it's hard to when she's so mad at me and feels like I'm a villain for asking for the money back. Am I the asshole for making my son break up with his girlfriend over the age gap? My son, 17, has a new girl and she's 20. When I heard her age, I was completely disgusted because what does someone in their 20s want with someone who still has teen in their age? A couple of days ago, I told my son he could not date this girl. He said, "You can't be serious, right? I turn 18 in May, and our relationship is literally legal." I said, "There's something seriously wrong with her if she is looking at guys under 19, 20. Not to mention you're still technically a minor, which is wrong. Women mature faster, but in general, for people under 25, even just 3 years is a big difference due to how much you guys change." I explained my reasons for why I was doing this and went into detail each time. He told me if he's old enough to work and drive, he's old enough to date who he wants. I told him, "You can't see this girl, end of story. Delete her number and I want to watch you do it." He refused, but he eventually complied after some pressure. Days have passed since then, and he doesn't speak to me. Yesterday, he was finishing up his college applications, and I asked him why all his colleges are states away. He told me because they'll get him away from me. I was hurt by that statement and told him all I'm doing is trying to protect him. He said, "You know, if I want to see her, I'll find a way too, right? The only difference is you won't know, meaning you can't actually protect me if something was to happen because I can't come to you. Just leave me alone, please." He's been very rude and cold to me. It honestly has stunned me. It does hurt a lot. I understand that he's still angry and needs time to process things, but I can't seriously be in the wrong here for rightfully trying to protect my teenager, right? 40.